lot. I do want to.
Okay. So let's start. Jnanam Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yen Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nam Shrisham Manumapi Satchiputram Atra Sharupam Rupam Tasya Grajamarupurim Maturim Vashtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Radhik Madhavasam Prapto Yasha Pratita Kripaya Shri Guru Sarnatashmi Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Anarpita Charim Chirat Nirunayavatirna Kalam Shamarpaitam Unnatas Balarasam Savakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dhyuti Kadamba Sandipita Shada Hridaye Kandare Spurato Vasachinandana Janambita Bhujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Tatsum Vishwambaro Dayabaro Jugadharma Palu Vande Jagat Karunavataru Ladini Shakti Sharupaya Gauranga Suridaya Cha Bhakta Shakti Pradanaya Gadadharam State He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Radhe Vrindavanadishe Karunam Pitavahini Kripaya Nijapada Dashamayam Pradiyatam Bhaktya Bihina Aparada Lakshai Kiptascha Kamaditarandamadye Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Prapanam Brinde Namaste Charanarabindam Brinde Namaste Charanarabindam Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Radha Madhav ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Gopi-GITA ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Pramanand Hari Gaur. Good afternoon to all of you. Almost good evening, so welcome, more than welcome. So today we are continuing with our series of lectures about the Gopi-GITA. After some days of some break, and also not so much break with the online Japa retreat, but at least a break for the particular present topic, somehow or other. So today we are in our sixth meeting. We will be, no, seventh meeting, sorry. We will be today discussing the fifth verse of the Gopi-GITA. So let's make, before that, a brief summary of what we were seeing last Thursday when we were studying verse number 4. There the gopis are singing to Krishna, Na kalu gopika nando baba, akila dehina antaratmadrik, bikana sartito vishmaguptaye, saka udevam shattatankule. So they are saying, oh Saka, oh dear friend. Actually, na kalu gopika, you are not the dear friend of the, you are not the son, sorry, of a gopika, of a gopi, Jashoda. You are not Jashoda Nandan. But actually, akila dhehi namam tadat madring, you are the indwelling witness of all embodied souls. So because Lord Brahma, Bhikanasartito Vishwaguptaye, because Brahma prayed for you to come and protect the universe, Sattvatam Kule, Sakaudejivam Sattvatam Kule. You have now appeared in the Sattvata dynasty. So it's a very interesting verse. Whereas you see in a very overtly way there is some Aishwarya there, on one level, on one possible perspective and interpretation of this verse. Gopi is saying, you are not the son of Jashoda, but actually Paramatma. And you came because Brahma prayed to you to descend to this world and protect the whole universe. So it doesn't sound too much of intimate conception of the Godhead, but actually pretty much connected to his Godhood. But as we know and we will see, the gopis, even when they express such an extreme Aishwarya-like prayers, all of them is fostering their madhurya, their intimacy with Krishna. So one possible explanation to this verse, or the background to this verse, is that the gopis here are trying to pacify Krishna a little bit because in the previous verses they were speaking to him quite strongly, accusing him of being a betrayer of his faith, a murderer, a killer, a liar, a thief, sorry, and so many other things. So Krishna may have said, maybe, if you will, I feel very much pain in my heart because of your harsh words, so I will live right now here, you will never see me again in your life. So the gopis being a little bit scared about that prospect, they speak these words trying to calm down himself. That's a level of interpretation, because as we will see, these very words also speak about the gopis speaking harshly to Krishna as well, certain gopis at least. So again, they are invoking Aishwarya. You are the God, you are Paramatma, you are an avatar, you are divine descent into the world. Brahma, the topmost personality in the whole universe, is praying to you. So Aishwarya on one side, but Madhurya on the other. Bhagavan is above Paramatma, as we know. Paramatma has to do with being God, partial and so on, and Bhagavan's special feature is his partiality towards his devotee, his spiritual partiality, in the context of remaining partial as God. Paramatma, expressing transcendental divine partiality as Bhagavan, Krishna, specifically in Braj, which is that moment where God transcends his own godhood. And he becomes the more he can be, his most upgraded version. So another level of, again, interpretation of this verse, the gopis are scolding Krishna here, chastising him, and they say, Nakalu Gopika, says, you cannot be Jashodanandan, you cannot be the son of Jashoda, because she's too sensitive, too compassionate, too loving towards every living entity, what to speak of us who are very dear and near to her. So you are not showing any of those qualities. You are not showing the least minimum manifestation of the DNA of your mother. So this is a proof that you cannot be the son of Yashoda. You have not inherited any of those qualities. Actually, you are expressing exactly the opposite. Be merciless and so on. The context of Prem, the gopis are speaking in this way. Also, some of our acharyas, Purvacharyas, have said that the very word na, which is the first word at the beginning of the whole verse, na means not, modifies all the other words that are there. So the gopis are saying, na kalu gopika, you are not the son, you are na kalu gopika nandana bhavam, you are not the son of Yashoda. And then they say, akila dhehi nam tharad madrik, but na modifies that. No? So you are not the son of Yashoda, you are not also Gopika Nandana, which would be one, we could construe that idea, Gopika Nandana, the one who gives joy to the gopis. You are not giving us joy, so that name doesn't correspond to you. You are not Paramatma. Paramatma is in everyone's heart, and he knows what's going on in each heart, each pain, and he will become inclined to help in that regard. That's a level of possible interpretation. Because you didn't answer Brahma's prayer, because Brahma prayed for the welfare of all the universe, and we are part of that, and our situation is, our plight is not being addressed here. And Sattvatam Kule, you are not born in a Sattvatam Kule, in the Sattvata dynasty, which means also the dynasty of saintly people, because you are not exhibiting any saintly quality by not appearing before us. So in this way, the gopis are, or our purvacharyas, which are gopis, most of them, are presenting this possible idea of this verse also, gopis calling Krishna in this way. And also we finished speaking that when the gopis, if we consider the idea of the gopis saying Krishna is God, basically actually the general idea is they are mainly repeating what they heard from others in the context of the Leela. Some say Krishna is God, some wise men say whatever about Krishna. Okay, we repeat that, but personally, they do not fully believe that, if you will, in the context of their particular subjectivity and relationship to him. And this Aishwarya, we also made this point at the end, only surfaces in separation from Krishna. The gopis presenting the ontological divine position of Krishna, that will only happen in the mood of separation, where they are experiencing certain pain, and certain Aishwarya will come, certain knowledge of Krishna's, again, Godhood, but all of that in the context of nurturing their specific sthāyi bhava, prominent, dominant emotion towards him, in this case, Madhurya bhava. So the conclusion of the verse, as if with all the other verses, is you are being indifferent to our pain, so better you appear before us. Over and over again, this is the conclusion of every single verse of GOPI-GITA, basically. So that's a brief summary of verse number 4. So now we will go to verse number 5. I will copy and paste it in the chat section, so you may have it if you want. Okay, there it is. So I will recite it in Sanskrit. And of course, you can join me if you like. It says like this. Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya vṛṣṇi-dhūrya caraṇam īyuṣāṁ saṁsṛter bhayāt kara-saroruhaṁ kānta kāma-daṁ śirasi dhehi śrī-kara-graham. So the translation of the verse says, the gopis are saying to Krishna, O best of the Vṛṣṇis, your lotus-like hand, which holds the hand of the goddess of fortune, grants fearlessness to those who approach your feet out of fear of material existence. All over, please place that wish-fulfilling lotus hand on our heads. So this is the 5th verse, where the gopis are singing the glories of Krishna's lotus hands, basically here, and their effects, what they create. Viracitābhayaṁ. They say viracita means created. What's the effect of the hands? They are created. What? Abhayam. Abhay means fearlessness. And they call Krishna, in this case, there are two types of addressing for Krishna. Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya. Vṛṣṇi means from the Vṛṣṇi dynasty. Again, some Aishwarya coming there. Sattvatam Kule before, now Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya. And dhūrya means O best. O best of the Vṛṣṇis. That's not precisely a name of Krishna in the Braj. So now we'll explain also a little bit the context of this Aishwarya. So Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya te. Te means your. And now let's complete the whole idea. Caraṇam īyuṣāṁ saṁsṛter bhayāt. Caraṇam means feet, īyuṣāṁ means those who approach those feet, saṁsṛter bhayāt, because of saṁsṛter bhayāt, because of having fear, bhayāt, which is the opposite of abhay. Of what? Fear of saṁsṛter, samsara, material existence. So your lotus hand, your lotus-like hand, provides fearlessness, grants fearlessness to those who approach you, O best of the vṛṣṇis, because of fear of samsara, they say. The second half of the verse, the gopis are saying, kara-saroruhaṁ, kānta kāma-daṁ. So kara, that hand, your hand, kara-saroruhaṁ, like a lotus flower, that hand which is lotus-like hand, kānta kāma-daṁ. Kāma-daṁ means it fulfills dam, kama, all desires. And they qualify this kāma-daṁ, the gopis themselves, with the addressing of kānta. So kānta means lover, O lover. It's interesting because the previous name was O best of the Vṛṣṇi dynasty. Now they're saying O lover. So it's a very interesting mixing, how the gopis are able to invoke these apparent contradictory terms, rasa-bhasa-like terms, but actually make of them what Jiva Goswami may call rasa-ulas, not rasa-bhas, but rasa-ulas, which means like exaltation of rasa. This means they are arriving at the highest point on the mountain of rasa, if you will, escalating that. So they are saying this, no? Kara-saroruhaṁ, kānta kāma-daṁ. Oh, lover who fulfills all the desires. What's the last line? śirasi dhehi śrī-kara-graham. So there is the request that the gopis are presenting. Śirasi means on the heads. Dhehi. Śirasi dhehi na. Na means on our us, means our heads. Dhehi means please place. Śrī-kara-graham. Please place that same hand, which is śrī-kara-graham. Śrī means different levels, but Śrī again appearing here, the goddess of fortune, as she appeared in previous verses, and she will continue to appear. Śrī-kara-graham. Kara means hand, and graham means taking. So please place that wish-fulfilling lotus hands, which holds also the hand of the goddess of fortune. Please that wish-fulfilling hands, lotus-like hand, on our heads. So the gopis are asking for that blessing to be bestowed on them. So that's the general idea of the verse. So let's go to the unpacking, the section of unpacking the content of this particular sloka, at least something of that. So in his Saṁsṛter Darshan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he's paraphrasing Krishna in connection to the previous verse again. So Krishna may be saying, according to Thakur Chakravarti, he may be saying to the gopis, oh, you wonderful speakers, I only disappear from you to drink the nectar of your words of loving anger. And we know that Krishna very much enjoys this particular type of nectar. That's something that gives Krishna lots of relishment. When the gopis, especially Srimati Radharani, enters into man, enters into sulky mood, and he himself has to play many tricks and become extremely humble in order to receive Radha's mercy. So Krishna likes a lot to be humble. That's a point also, no? He's completely humble, completely surrendered unto love. And Sri Radha, the same. It seems she's being proud, but actually she's doing all that only for the pleasure of the beloved. And as we know, humility is the absence of enjoying a spirit in a selfish sense. So the topmost humility will be the presence of enjoying a spirit for the beloved, not for me, but for the beloved, the disposition to give that pleasure. And again, Sri Radharani is the highest representation of that. So Krishna may be saying to the gopis, I just disappeared because I wanted to relish, to drink the beverage of your words and loving anger. I really nurture because of that, because again, it's loving anger. Generally, these two words make an oxymoron in this world. No? You generally are not lovingly anger towards anyone. But whatever the gopis do, it's loving. Be that anger, jealousy, apparent envy, whatever, pride, all the so-called things that are totally worthy of being dismissed in this world, find a proper place in love, basically. No? If you have love, there is a way to harmonize everything. Everything that will appear in your way, even so-called apparent flaws, will find their proper place and the perfect expression. And Srila Maharaj mentioned this nice connection with the famous description of love given by Rupa Goswami as a snake moving in a crooked way. And of course we can say, okay, love moves in a crooked way because of its unpredictability. But also Srila Maharaj said, love moves like a snake in a zigzag crooked way because whatever it's finding on its way, love, it's embracing everything, not letting anything out of her embrace, and harmonizing everything that is on the way. No? So that's very much in line with this point. Gopis having love, and having love being able to be in lovingly anger, lovingly proud, lovingly whatever, but lovingly, in a loving way. Now when we don't have love, even when we want to be sometimes loving people or whatever, it doesn't work that well, because real love has to come for make all the other attributes real, show the real ultimate best possible face. Even those attributes that seem like a flaw find the best expression in love. And so here we are seeing this in the GOPI-GITA very especially. All the things that in this world are totally condemned, having a lover, running from your duties at home, so on, so on. Because there is love, love is there. Because of that, whatever, all the other things that seem to be a flaw find a proper expression. Moksha ima sucha, Krishna said to the gopi, to us and to the gopi. I will free you from all flaw if you just surrender to me fully. So Krishna says this, no? I came to drink your words and love in anger. So now I have fulfilled that desire. I've heard that. So you can take any boon you wish from me. You have pleased me, no? So now you ask whatever you want. You gave me what I wanted, the nectar of your angry speech. And again, we've seen these previous verses, the gopis were speaking quite harshly, accusing Krishna of being a killer, betrayer of his faith, but all of that was giving so much pleasure to Krishna. And the gopis knew that, and that's why they used those particular expressions. So never forget that all this dialogue is being enacted in the context of love, in the context of giving mutually pleasure to the object of our affection. There's nothing else apart from that, even if it seems to be something else. So we have to be very careful over and over again to make full circle and go back to our beginning point, and remembering what's really going on here. What's the context? What's the parameter for this particular conversation? Where are each of the two parts? So Krishna is saying to the gopis, I was pleased with your angry words, your sulky mood, your criticism of me. That's Krishna and Braj. So ask whatever you want, take any boon. So the gopis, according to Vṛṣṇi, will think, oh, he's so merciful, he's offering us a boon now. So they are relieved and began to voice their individual desires in 4 verses. Vṛṣṇi Chakravarti Thakur says, this is the first of the 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This will be a 4-fold prayer of the gopis, asking Krishna to fulfill their different desires, which all will go in one direction, as we know. So this is a particular section. Between the 19 verses of the GOPI-GITA, we'll find some specific sections and verses that are quite interconnected one with the other. So here the gopis are addressing, let's go a little bit also with the addressed how the gopis are dressing Krishna. One of the dresses was kānta, as we say. Kānta means beloved. So this is a word that will be expressed exclusively in the context of romantic affairs. You won't say kānta to your friend, your father, mother, servant, whatever. So that's exclusively in the realm of Madhurya Rati. So they call him kānta, and also they call him kāma-daṁ, apart from the vṛṣṇi-dhūrya that we'll explore in a while. So kāma-daṁ means he who awards the fulfillment of desire. Kama means desire, and da means to give, fulfill. So in this case, he was saying, they were implying, he whose lotus hand, remember the analogy, the example of the lotus, it's awarding the fulfillment of all desires. Or he whose lotus hand gives kāma. Now, kāma in a general way means desire, generic desires. So every people have different desires, and Krishna may has the capacity to fulfill those desires with his lotus hand, giving like mudra blessing, whatever you want, it's there. But also kāma, as you know, we have the kāma-nuga bhaktas and the kāma-rupa section, which the gopis belong to. So kāma also has to do with divine lust, also with mundane lust, but in this particular case, romantic desire, let's say. That's divine lust. So the gopis have kāma not in a generic way, not an abstract desire, but very specific type of kāma. So the idea of kāma-daṁ, even though it applies universally, it applies specifically to the situation of the gopis. So in this way, the gopis are saying, okay, you told us we can ask a boon from you, and we know you have the power to give that boon, because you are kāma-daṁ, you're blessing, you are bestowing whatever people is asking you when they approach you and so on. So we have come to you for a very specific reason. As we mentioned, that's because the arrows of Cupid, again, there is mentioned the 5 arrows of Kāma-daṁ have pierced our hearts. So we are now on the verge of death. So please save us. But again, if you explore in detail, we know they are concerned about saving Krishna for himself being pierced by the arrows of Cupid, of divine love. That will be fully revealed in the last verse of GOPI-GITA. Who is piercing who is the Cupid of whom, and so on. So again, interestingly, on one side in this verse, they say in Krishna, in the beginning line, they're calling him vṛṣṇi-dhūrya, you are the best of the Vṛṣṇi dynasty. So they seem to be full of awe and reverence, similar to the previous verse. You are Paramatma, you are the witness in everyone's heart, but actually that implies something beyond Aishwarya and beyond a generic idea even of Madhurya, because not all of the gopis will also speak to Krishna in this particular way, chastising him, rebuking him, and so on. So remember, in the previous verse, the gopis say to Krishna, "Na khalu gopika." You indeed, "Na khalu gopika nandano bhavan." You are not the son of the gopi, Yashoda. But at the same time, this implies the whole thing that increased their intimacy with him. So in the same way, here the gopis are calling Krishna, you are the greatest of the Vṛṣṇis. But at the same time, they say, although you are the greatest of the Vṛṣṇis, we desire that you place your cooling lotus hands on our heads. So generally, you won't ask that to the greatest of the Vṛṣṇis. There will be some awe and reverence and distance there. But in this case, the fact of the greatness that Krishna possesses, because he does, Bhagavan, the fact of his greatness that is not diminishing the gopis' desire for intimacy. That's an ongoing affair, as it indeed might happen to others who realize, oh, no, my object of love is such a great person. Like, as you know, happened to Arjuna, one of the many cases, when he realized, oh, my friend, who I thought it was my friend or my cousin, it was something else. Something else. He considered something else when he was seeing the Vishwarup, realizing Krishna is God, universal form, so many things there. And Arjuna just begging, praying with for forgiveness for his offenses, for only calling Krishna with certain names, and in a very slight way implied that Arjuna, in a joking way, was situating himself as saying, "Oh, you are Yadava. You are coming from a particular dynasty, but I am coming from a very higher dynasty." So he's calling Krishna names in that particular type of derogatory mood. And when he realizes who Krishna is, he just starts to beg forgiveness for his aparat, his so-called aparat. There's no aparat, of course. But in this case, the gopis, we see, they speak Krishna very much harsher names. They chastise him, rebuke him. And even when they realize he's Bhagavan, Paramatma, the best of the Vṛṣṇis and so on, I mean, it doesn't move themselves from their inner realization of sweetness and intimacy, even an inch. Actually, those names increase in them, this particular mood. As Guru Maharaj gives the example of the new president just elected, and he's presenting his first speech, and the mother comes. She's invited to speak by his son, and she starts to embrace her son, and kiss him, and her own intimacy towards him increases because of the fact that now he's the president. Her motherly love, her vatsalya, becomes upgraded by that degree of Aishwarya. My son is some sort of Ishwar in this world. So somehow or other, the gopis are exhibiting this paradoxical, ecstatic expression. So the gopis are continuing to think of Krishna as their lover. Again, kānta. In spite of his other qualifications. Okay, you are vṛṣṇi-dhūrya, you are the best of the Vṛṣṇis, you are Paramatma, you are so many things that people call you, but you are our kānta, first and foremost. You are our lover. That's a priority for us and hopefully for you. Similar to what Nanda Baba said, my son may be God, but first of all and foremost, he's my son. That's the priority in my relationship to him. So we need really to revolve around this conception and to really, not in an intellectual way, but pray that we may someday fully inhabit, as I say, these concepts, these extraordinary conclusions regarding the Godhead. So Krishna may retort to the gopis in this context, if they are saying, okay, you are beloved, please put your hand in our heads. Krishna said before, ask a boon, whatever you like. So the gopis may say, okay, put your hands in our heads. And Krishna may say, but you girls are not worthy of that, of my putting my hands, the best of the Vṛṣṇis hands, on your heads. So again, Krishna is returning the bhav. This is the language of love. So the gopis will reply, yes, it's true. We are not worthy of that. Their humility immediately comes on the surface. But still, put your hand there in consideration of your own glory. They express this with the idea of Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya. Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya means best of the Vṛṣṇis. Vṛṣṇi is a very glorious dynasty. So if you are Dhūrya there, if you're the best of the glorious dynasty, you're a total noble person, heroic person. So you have the capacity of showing daya, showing kindness, showing heroism, being generous in giving charity, even when the person, especially with the person, is not deserving that. So the gopis in their humility say, yeah, you are right. We do not deserve your hand on our heads. But it doesn't mean that we don't want that. We are burning in that desire. Because you need to do that for the sake of your own desire. So the gopis are saying, please show your mercy, show your charity to us. And they mentioned kānta again. Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya, kānta. Kānta means beloved. So with the vocative kānta, the gopis here, which means priya, another word of saying kānta is priya, beloved. So the gopis are implying, put your hand on our head, but in the context of kānta, in the context of you being our beloved and we being yours. So put your hand there with a special mood, from a special side, because there are different ways of putting your hand on the head of someone. So the gopis are imploring for a particular type of contact. And what's that special mode? Of course, interestingly, in the context of these gopis informed Krishna, we have come to you because of out of fear from samsara. They mentioned this example. Many people come to you and they include themselves in the group. caraṇam īyuṣāṁ saṁsṛter bhayāt. Because of fear, bhayāt of saṁsṛter, of samsara, people approach your feet, asking for mukti, stopping of suffering, shelter, and so on. But the point is, yes, the gopis approach Krishna because of fear of samsara. So what's samsara for the gopis? That's the important part there. It's not the same for us. Samsara, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur would say, is for us, is ahammameti, the false sense of I and my. I, me, mind, in a distorted way without Krishna in the center, gives rise to what we call samsara, or repeated cycle of birth and death. Material experience has to do with material filter or sense of identity. But the gopis are totally beyond this. So what do they refer when they say we are in samsara? So again, samsara generally refers worldly attachments, body, family, home, extensions of one's ego. The problem is not having all those things, but being attached to that. So in their extreme humility, the gopis present themselves as ordinary people attached to mundane stuff like family, society, house. But as we have seen, they are not attached at all. Krishna's flute is sounding, and they're just leaving everything immediately. But in the humility accompanying their prem, they present themselves as, we approach you because of fear of samsara. So for them, samsara refers to home life, the home life that they left in order to be in his presence, basically. So we have left all that behind. And the point is, we are afraid of going back there. Actually, we don't have nothing to do there. But if you don't appear, what's the point? We left everything behind to come with you, to you. That is samsara from the gopis, similar to what Mahaprabhu himself said in the 5th verse of Sikshastakam. We mentioned that in our study. He's saying, Adinanda tanoya kinkaram patitamam vishame babambudo. He said, babambudo patitamam vishame. I'm drowning, I'm falling in an ocean of material existence. You say, but Mahaprabhu is speaking. And he's speaking Ajinanda Tanoja. He's in a Sakti. This verse refers to Sakti. He's speaking, addressing Nanda Tanuja, the son of Nanda. So he's starting to show a particular, as we mentioned, many details. Aji has to do with calling someone from the female perspective. So all this speaks to us about Mahaprabhu exhibiting the role of the sadhaka in a Sakti who is having a glimpse, or more than that, of his spiritual eternal identity. In the case of Mahaprabhu, as you know, Radha Bhav. So he's speaking from Radha Bhav there, and he's saying, I'm falling into samsara, please rescue me. What's the samsara of Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radha? The same samsara of the gopis here. My house, I want to escape this prison-like house and join Krishna. So many obstacles on the way. So in this way, the gopis are praying to Krishna. And they are confident that they're invoking the symbol of Krishna's lotus hand. Again, remember the lotus, of course, has many qualities. It's a pretty aesthetic species. But in this case, the lotus is also a symbol for cooling, the effect of cooling. So the gopis are confident this cooling lotus hands will have a twofold effect. It will cool the fire of samsara, the type of samsara they conceive, the gopis conceive, and it will stimulate the fire of passionate love within their hearts. And other types of samsara, another type of forest fire, if you will. Because they know that, they are confident because Krishna has already stirred that such passion in their hearts. And also not only in their hearts, but they quote him śrī-kara-graham, in the goddess of fortune as well. In the form of Narayan, he took her hand in marriage. Narayan took Lakshmi's hand in marriage. So the gopis are speaking here about that hand which took the hand of Lakshmi. So they are speaking to Krishna, but they are acknowledging, we know you are Narayan, you are God, Vishnu. But they just take shelter in that idea only in the service of their own light. As you are, in some form, you are God, and you took the hand of Lakshmi by Kānta, well, you should put your hand on our heads. So that's the conclusion. Yeah, we know you are God, and we are not, you are Narayan, you took the hands of three, of Lakshmi. So why can't you similarly place your hand on our heads in affection, in a special mood? Because you already have accepted us as your wives. You took the hands of Lakshmi in marriage, like you say, I don't know if you say in English, but in Spanish they say, taking the hand of someone is like, implies you accepted her as your wife or something like this. So the Gopis is saying, you did that with Lakshmi, and you did that with us in the sense of, in the Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya Lila, when you stole our clothes, and you saw us naked, which only a husband can see his wife naked. So you accepted ourselves as your wives. We wanted that, we pray for that to Katyayani. So why you cannot put now your hand on our heads? We who are your wives, your Badhu, your beloveds. Also, of course, meanwhile, the gopis are presenting their points. They are experiencing different types of dilemma, if you will, because they say, again, the touch of your hand will vanquish Cupid. Kāma-daṁ will fulfill all desires. Your lotus, cooling lotus hand, because we surrender to you because of fear of the, as we say, of the arrows of Cupid. So your hand will vanquish that effect. But ironically, that hand will make us again lusty, will start a whole new forest fire in our heart. It's another meaning of kāma-daṁ. So kāma-daṁ is you satisfy all desires, but you also you bestow calm. You create a new level of desire. So the gopis are praying to Krishna for appearing and putting out the forest fire of separation from him. But at the same time, the gopis will say, the gopis will feel, oh, again, a new fire is coming. Now what to do? And so the gopis retort to Krishna, you are the supreme person. You cannot say you cannot do that, that you are powerless to do that, what we are asking from you. Your hand is bestowing fearlessness of high to men who have surrendered to you out of fear of material existence. You are the one who protects everyone from the fear of samsara. So, I mean, you can protect everyone from so many things. So what effort will take you to protect a person of the fear of lust? We are afraid of that. Please protect us. That's the language of the gopis. So in a very like joking mood, if you will, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is paraphrasing Krishna as he's replying to the gopis after they say this. So Krishna may say to the gopis, okay, so I'm like analyzing your proposal. So if that is so, all that you say is true, may I then place my lotus hand on your breast? My mind desires to put my hands there instead. You're asking for my head on my hands or your head, but actually I would like to put my hands on your breasts. That again, the idea of the breast beyond what it may seem to be in the context of romantic love. Let's also take it in the sense of breast has to do with heart. That's where the heart is. That will be unfold gradually as the verses go on. But Krishna presents himself in this particularly smart way. He says, oh, okay, if that is so, then I may place my lotus hands on your breast. My mind wants that actually. And the gopis will say no. Even though eventually they will ask him to do so, but now they are saying no, because that's part of the game, the divine tension of these types of dialogues. So they are saying no. Your hands are already held by the hands of Lakshmi. śrī-kara-graham, the last part of the verse says so. Your hand is taken by Lakshmi. And why she took your hand in that way? In order to prevent you from placing your hands on her breasts. Because she knows you. Even, of course, we are speaking here about Narayan. Narayan is different from Krishna, but the gopis are connecting. Even though you appear as Narayan, we know who you are actually. We know which is your mood. You are a lampata. You are a womanizer. So Lakshmi knows of this. I mean, they are projecting their own psychology into Vaikuntha, into the realm and dynamics of reverential love between even Lakshmi and Narayan, and they're projecting their own bhav. Atmano manjate jagat. Whatever you have in your mind, you project that to the environment. So the gopis are saying, actually, the Lakshmi took your hand, it's Narayan, in order to prevent you from placing your hands on her breasts. So we must also prevent that. We are following a very chaste lady like Lakshmi. So actually, the gopis want the exact opposite, want that Krishna may place his hands on their breast, because they know Krishna wants that, as he has just said. But they played hard. No? They did not easily openly say that, because again, the language of love, specifically romantic love, is indirect. In this context, Sanatana Goswami, in his Brihad Vaishnava Toshani, he mentioned that this word śrī-kara-graham, which means taking the hand of Sri or Lakshmi, he says, with śrī-kara-graham, it is said that Krishna is under the control of a dear person, first, due to pure love, and that he is rasika. And Sanatana Goswami says, in point of eminence, those three terms are mentioned in increasing order. Śrī-kara-graham. In a very substantial way, it means Krishna is under the control of a dear person first, second, due to pure love, higher, and third, he is a rasika. So in that context, he appears controlled. In the context of tasting, relishing newer and higher degrees of rasa. According to Vallabhacharya, another, of course, famous commentator of the Bhagavad, he's saying that a particular group of gopis is speaking in this verse, and they are implying to Krishna, they are saying, our hearts are quivering. And so if no request is made, he will not bestow anything. So that's why the gopis present the particular request. So they can, and thus they request a connection between the Lord's hand and their heads. Please place your lotus hand on our heads so that all our limbs may be rejuvenated, says Vallabhacharya. Interesting. The gopis are saying, rejuvenate all our angas, from our angi, from our body, with the context of your Nava Jovana, always ever new, fresh hand, lotus hand. So refresh us in that way. Remember, the gopis previously implied to Krishna in the second verse. Our beauty is now in full bloom. So we are in the best possible moment to offer our beauty to you. And it may leave us at any moment, because time is passing. We are getting older. So the gopis were thinking in this way, we may get old eventually, and you may not be able to fully enjoy our beauty as we know you want and you deserve. So the gopis, some verses were passing, and they are afraid, oh, maybe this may happen and we may not be able to fully offer our beauty. So place your lotus hand on our heads. So our whole body, our whole limbs will be rejuvenated. So we remain updating our beauty, if you will, by the contact with your lotus-like limbs. And in this way we remain ever fresh and young and beautiful. So we can offer yourself to you whenever you dare to appear. Something like this. Also, the symbol of placing the hand of someone on one's head, it's representative of accepting the latter individual as subordinate. So if I place my hand on someone's head, I'm accepting that person as subordinate. Of course, the gopis are offering themselves here as servants, totally surrendered to Krishna. So that's it. The idea that speaks about their saranagati in this context. And also in connection to the hand on the head, viracitābhayaṁ, the verse begins with this. This hand creates fearlessness. In the Bhagavad, in future sections, in chapter 38 of 10th canto Akrura, we'll ask Krishna in verse 16, place your lotus hand on my head to remove all fear. Exactly, he's saying that. So here the gopis are saying something similar. Place your lotus hand on our heads to remove all fear, to bestow liberation, which basically means fearlessness. Liberation means to be free from, in this case, fear. But also, they're saying kāma-daṁ. They're not saying just free me from suffering, free me from fear, but kāma-daṁ. Your hand is bestowing, is fulfilling desires. Like a kalpa vriksha. So it is said, the commentators have said, this expression kāma-daṁ, on one level means the Krishna's hand fulfills the desires of those who ask for dharma, artha, and kama. But also kāma-daṁ means he gives bhakti. He gives moksha, he gives all the goals. He gives tribharga. Tribharga means dharma, artha, kama. He's a bestower of that. But he's a bestower of bhakti as well. Vṛṣṇi-dhūrya means total freedom from all fear, eventually in a positive sense that they ultimately will imply bhakti. Because again, if the gopis are asking for freedom from liberation, well, what's the type of liberation a devotee will conceive? We are not against mukti. We remember that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wanted to delete that word from the dictionary, from the Bhagavat, which is our dictionary, mukti pade, the famous verse that tenu kampan shushamiksham, and so on. Because he developed such a taste for bhakti that even the word mukti, he could not bear to read it, to hear it. But Mahaprabhu said, you don't need to delete that because mukti has a positive content, and the Bhagavat describes that. The Bhagavat says, muktirhi tvanyata rupam sharupena vyabhyasritihi, which means for us, for the Bhagavats, muktir means removal of the negative, but bestowal of the positive, being fully immersed in one's swarup. That's the devotional positive idea of mukti. So again, when the gopis are asking Krishna, give us freedom from all fear, all obstacles, freedom from samsaras, we say, they're actually implying, give us an ongoing freedom and liberation from our daily obstacles that we've met in our way to trying to meet you every single day of our lives. That's the parakiya dynamics. And that's why Mahaprabhu, as we may know, that's one of the deep reasons why Mahaprabhu likes so much to hear from Gadadhar Pandit Bhagavat in Puri, especially Prahlad Charit, Dhruva Charit, these particular sections of the Bhagavat, which seem overtly not too esoteric compared to what Mahaprabhu was about. But at the same time, in these stories, so much obstacles are there. So much obstacles Prahlad has to face in his quest for the divine, and Dhruva as well. So the point is, Mahaprabhu was hearing those kathas in Radha Bhav. So fully immersed here in Bhagavat from Gadadhar Pandit, and in nurturing his own Radha Bhav and immersing himself in the daily dynamics of Sri Radharani, trying to sort all these obstacles in the daily life, as I was always say, this dysfunctional family she's living in Jatila, with Tila, Kutila, Abhimanyu, and daily so many tests and challenges. So by hearing this Prahlad Charit, Dhruva Charit, he was receiving new strength, having the inspiration of these great personalities to sort all these obstacles, nurture me to follow that same path, if you will. So that's the point. A conditioned soul, normal conditioned soul, will pray to Krishna's feet for becoming free of samsara, cycle of birth and death. But the gopis only desires to be free from this fear of separation from Krishna. So they're asking to Krishna, please put off all the obstacles to our joining you. And the present situation is that they are in separation from Krishna, and there's apparent obstacle because he's not there. So what's happening? Why not? You are not here. Appear before us. Again, this is the conclusion of every verse. So the gopis are over and over again connecting in a very intuitive, spontaneous way all the things in this conclusion. Appear before us. Appear before us. Protect us from the fear of the obstacles of samsara, which make you not be here with us. Saṁsṛter. Saṁsṛter means material existence in this verse. No? But interestingly also, if we are to take the idea of samsara in its ultimate deep way, it's speaking about the samsara of the gopis. We've said something about that, but we may say something else. So the word saṁsṛter generally is translated as material existence, but also has a relation to the word braj, which seems samsara, which is a mundane, ordinary village, but the word braj means that which moves around. We already spoke that in the first verse, when the gopis say janmana braja. Braj means constantly moving. It's a village that is moving according to the pasture for the cows and also moving according to the dynamics of love. And saṁsṛter has to do with material existence, which is also moving constantly. That's in the nature of nature, if you will. So interestingly, the gopis are in a form of saṁsṛter, something that is moving constantly. But this type of saṁsṛter or samsara is taking us to Krishna, the movement in Braj. That which moves around Krishna. So that's samsara. Also, as I always say, samsara, sara means cream or essence, and sam means full, complete. So samsara means full essence, complete cream, if you will, the complete substance or something. So the gopis are in samsara, yes. They are living immersed in the full essence of existence. And samsara is a forest fire. Yeah, they are in that blazing forest fire of divine love, of divine separation now. So one type of samsara is taking us to hell, if you will, and to complete destruction. And the other type of samsara, saṁsṛter, is moving in the opposite direction and taking us to Braj. And that's sometimes the example is given. The devotees of Krishna, if we continue with this idea of moving around, circumambulate, devotees of Krishna, they aim to loosen their attachment to the material world. So in order to do so, they circumambulate Gurudev, Vaishnavas, deity, and Tulasi in a clockwise direction. So that's how the circumambulating is done, clockwise direction. But sometimes we see the opposite type of circumambulation when you are wanting to tighten some attachment. So you circumambulate in an anti-clockwise direction. For example, in classical Indian marriage ceremony, which has more to do with material dharma, we are not speaking about here a devotee getting married, but part of the classical Indian ceremonies, the bride and the groom will walk her in a counterclockwise way around the fire, like implying we are tightening our attachment to one another. But again, for devotees, they are tightening attachment to one another in the context of bhakti, which immediately speaks something else, so they should walk the proper direction. So I don't know how devotees who are getting married walk around the fire. I've not been present there that many times, don't pay attention, but we should walk clockwise because we are getting attached to someone. It should be only in the context of that person being a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi. That's the only real Sangha, real attachment. So this is the conclusion of this verse. Jiva Goswami also in his Lagu Vaishnava Toshani makes it further clear, but says the same. He says the purport of this saying, place your hand on our heads is this, he says, accept us for crying out loud. We are crying out loud, so because of that, accept us. And accept that means, of course, appear to us and put your heads, your hands on our heads. So in this way, we can also, of course, extract so many valuable teachings from here and try to know how to express this very same idea in the context of a relationship with Guru, Vaishnava, and trying to put their feet or hands on our heads. In Guru Maharaj we will say we will get ahead there, in the upper realms, by having our heads being stepped on. Though we have been speaking all this whole weekend, Trinada Pisunichena. So we have many stories of this. Nityananda Prabhu placing his lotus feet on the heads of Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, on the heads of Raghunath Das Goswami. We know we have seen the result of such a boon, bestowing such mercy upon Jiva Goswami eventually. And Nityananda Prabhu is doing that, of course, with his guru. So he's Akhanda Guru Tata, so we can also pray to him like the origin, the substrate of all the Guru Tattva in this way. Like Jagai Madai, I don't know, Jagai Madai persecuted you, but you gave them your mercy. And they wept loudly, and their hearts melted because of you, because of your grace. So, but my situation is even worse. I'm worse than Jagai Madai. Krishna Das Kaviraj presents that case. Jagai Madai haite muni, sipapishta purisira kite haite muni shelagista. He says, I'm worse than Jagai Madai, I'm lower than the worm in the stool. We explained why, how you can feel lower than the worm in the stool. We explained that when we explained the third verse of Sikshastakam with this nice story of the person that the Guru saw him, he was proud and say, okay, go out and find if someone excels you, is inferior to you in every single thing. So the person went and he started to analyze humans and say, oh, that will be easy. Very qualified. So eventually he started to analyze in detail, say, no, every person has something that I don't have. So he went to the animal kingdom. He saw the same birds flying. He couldn't fly. Birds, fishes, like with no necessity of breathing under the water. So, oh, I cannot do that. So he went to the vegetal kingdom, so many varieties. So this way he was like, at one point passing a stool and say, well, at least this stool is inferior to me in every sense of the term. And he said, no, because this stool is just like the prasad, no, that you were eaten, you have eaten, no, and it now is coming in because of your tongue. You have to satisfy it. You took prasad, but now this stool is the prasad that is going through the process of what took me to take it. Eventually the worm appeared from the stool. Say, okay, this is lower than me in every single sense. But again, he realized, no, the worm is making a particular process of converting this stool into compost and doing something that I cannot do. So I'm worm, I'm worst, I'm lower than the worm in the stool, he concluded. So he went back to his guru and said, I was not able to find anyone. Actually, I'm lower than the worm in the stool. The guru said, okay, we are ready for initiation now. So following this idea is Krishna Das Kaviraj is presenting himself as lower than the worm in the stool, and Jagai Madai Haiti Monisri Pakistan. More sinful than Jagai Madai, which we know they're very sinful. But I'm worse because Jagai Madai were sinful, but we're not offenders, aparadis. Somehow or other they engage in every single possible crime, but they never committed Vaishnava aparad. So that's what Nityananda Prabhu gave that special shelter. So he's our shelter as well. We're worse than Jagai Madai, at least myself, engaging in aparad here and there. And if we want prem, if we want to really follow the footsteps of the Brajavasis, we need to approach Guru Tattva, Nityananda Prabhu, Guru Tattva. So that shelter will come to us through Guru, Sadhu. And we should very intensely pray for all that in the context of our study of the GOPI-GITA. So some ideas and thoughts to share today regarding this 5th verse of GOPI-GITA. So we have some few minutes. If someone may have any questions you may like to present.
I have a question, Maharaj.
Yes, go on.
I can't turn my picture on because I keep getting bumped off, but you said not all the gopis are saying these things, but I thought everyone was thinking the same. So does that mean some are feeling a different way towards Krishna, or?
Again, can you repeat the question? I didn't get
the point. You said not all the gopis are saying these things. And what I felt was you meant they didn't all feel the same way.
Yeah. Of course, in one sense, all of the gopis are saying the same in the context of crying for Krishna to reappear, but their crying is from a particular way, according to their particular bhav, the particular group they belong to, as we have been explaining already, in general terms, bhamya bhav, dakshina bhav. So in one sense, we can say different verses there are ways of expressing the different verses. Each verse of the GOPI-GITA is being spoken by a particular gopi. Some acharyas have said that. But at the same time, some acharyas have said all of the verses can be spoken by the different types of gopis according to how you interpret those verses. And the verses themselves, the Sanskrit lends itself to that flexible possibility. Of course, we are not going through every single verse on how each single group of the gopis may pronounce every single verse. Our acharya have not done that exercise, but the point is that the possibility is there. Every verse overtly may very clearly express a particular group or the other, but it's possible to adjust all of these verses to all the gopis. The point is, at this present moment, all the gopis were sharing at the same time this GOPI-GITA, this song. All were singing from their particular mood, from the particular bhav, but the conclusion of each verse, they are together, no? Like when they say Krishna appear to us, of course they will say appear to us, and each one will say appear to us from a particular angle of vision. So that should be how to understand the background of these verses in connection to different groups of consciousness.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Something else? Okay, so it seems no further questions. So we will finish here today our lecture. Thank you very much for your presence, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we will say each other. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Shri Madha Madhav ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri GOPI-GITA ki jai, Shri Dwadasi ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premananda Hari Bol. कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। गौर हरि बोल।
Thank you so much. That was another beautiful GOPI-GITA class.
Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. And just for you to know, on Wednesday we won't have class because of Narasimha Chaturdasi, and Guru Maharaj will be giving class earlier. So we will save that day for focusing specifically in that particular celebration. So we will have class. We have had class today, Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday, and on Thursday, not on Wednesday. So see you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.
Thank God.